talk to you briefly about ovarian torsion. So traditionally, what would have been done is, if you will do a laparoscopy with an ovarian torsion, your plan would be to do an oophorectomy if you see blackish ovaries and a suspicion of gangrene or necrosis. Now, the question is that going a bit too far? Coming back to the present time, this paper argues that our investigations are much better and we have Doppler ultrasound, skilled laparoscopic surgeons, and is there a role that, rather than be fooled by a black ovary, untwisting it may present a better chance of surviving, making the ovaries survive. Now, this came on the basis of a very good paper written in BJOG 2020 that offers quite good insight into how ovarian torsion was treated in that center in the United States. And what it noticed is that if you decided to go ahead with laparoscopy and saw a necrotic or a black ovary, young women were more likely to lose their ovary. Now, first of all these cases should be managed by an extremely experienced gynecologist so that that step is avoided. Now, there is some evidence that when you untwist the ovary, and this evidence comes in Human Reproduction in 1998, where blood flow tends to return. In fact, the second thing you can argue about is in where you have got highly skilled laparoscopic surgeons, do you untwist the ovary? And remember, what is the other risk that you would quote? You would say there's a risk of ovarian thrombosis heading towards inferior vena cava and then causing a thrombosis because of the twisted ovary. And by giving adequate blood thinners, would you be able to lower that risk? Now, there are largely unreported cases, mainly in pediatric, where twisting of the ovary has been known to salvage the ovary. So at present, until we get further evidence, I think we should cautiously move on to saying, let's try and see what we can do to save the ovary. And maybe the time may be to adopt untwist and keep as a policy, and to see how that works. It basically would mean that you would require more observation. Maybe it's time now to think about, do we step in and try and do less oophorectomies as needed?